The deepest truth isn't spoken, it's felt. Have you ever wondered why a man can hear "I love you" 100 times and still drift? It's because those words, as powerful as they are, aren't always the fire. Sometimes they're just the spark. And my friends, what we're about to uncover is the wildfire. Before we dive in, press that like button, hit subscribe, and do it not for me, but because I'm putting my soul into this. I'm not reading facts off a teleprompter. I'm giving you a voice that reaches deeper than logic, deeper than tips. This is for the part of you that's done trying to figure him out and finally ready to feel seen while making him never stop seeing you. That's what we're building here, and I need your energy to keep it going. So ladies, imagine this. You walk into a room, same outfit, same smile, but something's different in the way you move. You're not chasing his attention, you're commanding space. You sit down beside him, not like you're hoping he notices, but like he'll feel it if he doesn't. That's not coincidence, that's power, because true attraction isn't about turning heads, it's about turning souls. And that doesn't come from trying harder, it comes from being harder to forget. See, somewhere along the way, you were fed a sweet little lie that men want words, that if you just say, "I love you" enough times, it'll wrap him in commitment and keep him locked in like some emotional security system. But let me say this plainly, men don't stay where they're told to stay. They stay where they feel pulled, where the energy is electric, real, rooted. Because men, they don't just listen, they sense. They remember the way you touched his arm like it meant something. The way you laughed like your soul was on fire. The way you walked away, not because you were mad, but because you trusted your worth. That's the kind of woman who doesn't ask to be remembered. She already is. And don't get it twisted. This isn't about performing. You're not here to put on a show. You're here to show up as a woman who moves with emotional precision. A woman who understands that sometimes silence speaks louder than declarations. That your presence can say what 3 words never could. Today, we're not listing advice, we're dropping artillery. 12 ways to make a man feel loved so deeply, so memorably, that "I love you" becomes a shadow compared to your presence. This is for the women who already know they're enough, but are ready to become unforgettable. We're going to break every rule that told you to hold back, every piece of noise that said, "Don't be too much." Because too much is exactly what becomes addicting when it's rooted in truth. You're not here to be polite, you're here to be felt. So breathe this in, my friends. This isn't fluff, this is fuel. This is soul work, disguised as relationship advice. And when you finish this video, I don't want you just to understand your power, I want you to embody it. And if you're with me, say these 4 words right now. Say them out loud, write them in the comments, carve them into the space between your ribs. I am the gravity. That's right, not the magnet, not the bait, the gravity. Now let's light this fire. Stay with me. Number 1, the power of undivided attention. Hey ladies, imagine this. You're out to dinner with him. That restaurant you both like, dim lights, soft jazz in the background, the kind of place where even the forks feel romantic. He's across the table, hair a little messy from the day, that shirt you love on him, and in the middle of him telling a story, something that clearly means something to him, your phone buzzes. You glance down, just for a second. It's a notification, group chat, nothing urgent. You look back up, he's still talking, but something shifted. His voice, still warm, but the spark in his eyes, gone quiet. And you feel it in your chest. I just left the moment. Now I know life is busy. Work, friends, a million little pings pulling at your attention. You're not ignoring him because you don't care. You're just distracted. But here's the thing, my friends, in that split second, without even knowing it, he felt something he couldn't explain, unimportant, unseen, like he was sharing air with you, but not sharing space. And that's the part no one tells you. See, men may not always say it, but they feel it when your energy drifts. They won't ask you to stay present. They'll just slowly stop showing you the parts of themselves that needed your presence in the first place. Because love isn't built in the big speeches, it's carved in the quiet moments, and attention, that's the real love language. It's not about staring at him like he's on stage. It's about making him feel like he's the only one in the room. Even when you're in a crowded one, you might be wondering, but what if he doesn't notice when I give him my attention? What if I sit there present and he's still scrolling his phone? Let me tell you something powerful. When a woman leads with presence, she changes the temperature of the room. You don't need to beg for him to match your energy. You become the energy, you create the gravity that pulls him back in. Because presence isn't just what you give him, it's who you become when you give it. You become the woman who doesn't demand attention, she commands it. That's how the unforgettable ones move. They're not louder, they're deeper. And let me drop a truth that might hit a little hard. A man might not remember the text that said, "I love you," but he will remember the moment you looked at him like you didn't want to be anywhere else in the world. That kind of attention, that's what men crave more than words. So sit with him, not with your to-do list in the back of your mind, not half-scrolling Instagram under the table, but with a calm stillness that says, "I'm here, fully, right now, with you." Sit with him like you're listening with your soul. Because in a world full of distractions, a woman who's fully present is unforgettable. And the kind of touch we're talking about next, that's the kind that doesn't just soothe, it stays with him. It speaks before words and lingers after silence. We're just getting warmed up. But first, drop these 4 words in the comments right now. I am the presence. Say it, claim it, become it. Number 2, touch that lingers, not just passes. Hey ladies, imagine this. He walks through the door after a long day, shoulders tight, eyes a little tired, carrying the silent weight that men often don't talk about. You smile, step toward him, and you hug him. Not a rushed pat on the back, not a distracted one-arm squeeze while your mind's already on dinner or emails. You hold him, arms wrapped fully, heart pressed close, breathing together, 7 full seconds. And in those seconds, something shifts. His breath slows, his chest softens, and without saying a word, he hears you whisper through your body, "I'm here, you're safe, we're still us." See, my friends, touch isn't just about skin, it's about soul. Men might not always know how to ask for it, but their nervous system remembers it, their heart feels it. Because real touch, intentional, grounded, still, tells a man something deeper than words ever could. I haven't stopped choosing you. You ever notice how a quick kiss feels like a checkbox, but a slow touch, that lingers, that rewires? Touch that's rushed is like noise. Touch that's present is music. So don't just graze him on your way out the door. Wrap him like you mean it. Let him settle into you. That's when his shoulders drop, his heart opens, and his attraction to you deepens. Not from lust, but from home. Hold him like you trust him, like you want to be there, like you got nowhere else to be. Because that kind of touch, it doesn't pass, it plants. Number 3, feed his body, but nourish his spirit. The way to a man's heart isn't just through his stomach, it's through the thought behind what's on the plate. So ladies, imagine this. It's late, not fancy, just a Tuesday night. You're both tired, life's been loud, and the world outside your walls hasn't exactly been gentle. But then he walks into the kitchen, and there you are, cooking his favorite meal. Not just what was easy, not what was fast, what reminds him of something, of comfort, of home, of being seen. And he doesn't say it out loud, but you feel it in the way he exhales. Because for men, food is rarely just food. It's memory, it's emotion, it's you taking time to care, even when no one's watching. You didn't need to ask him what he wanted. You already knew. And in a world where men are told to be strong, silent, and self-sufficient, a simple gesture like that, that's everything. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I'm not trying to play house or serve anyone. And I hear you, loud and clear. This isn't about domestic duty. This is about emotional intelligence. It's about knowing that the little things, they land the hardest. Because what you're really saying is, I pay attention. I remember what makes you light up. And I take joy in bringing you back to life after the world's tried to drain you. That's not submission, that's connection. Even if it's just reheating leftovers with love, or baking something that fills the whole house with cinnamon and nostalgia. Even if you mess it up, burn it a little, get flour in your hair. He's not grading the meal, he's feeling the meaning. Because when a man walks into a room that smells like something made just for him, he doesn't just feel hungry, he feels chosen. And that feeling, it lingers long after the last bite. So feed him. Not to impress, not to perform, but to care. Because what's coming next, it's not about the kitchen, it's about the mirror, the woman he can't stop looking at, especially when she's not trying too hard. Number 4, dress like desire. It's not about impressing him. It's about reminding yourself that you're the flame. He's just lucky to feel the heat. So ladies, imagine this. It's been a long week. You've been in leggings, messy bun, oversized hoodie, because let's be real, life gets busy. But tonight, you decide to change the script. You slip into that dress, the one he loves, the one that hugs you in all the right ways. You walk into the room, and for a moment, he forgets whatever he was doing. He looks at you like he just met you. And no, it's not because of the dress. It's because of the intention behind it. Because when you wear something that says, I still want to turn you on, even after the routine, the errands, the years, it speaks loudly, silently, all at once. Now I know what you're thinking. Do I have to dress up just to keep him interested? No, my friend. You dress up because you're interested in your own power. Because when you feel sexy, alive, magnetic, you don't just catch his eye, you catch your own reflection and think, damn, she still got it. Men are visual creatures, sure, but more than that, they crave the energy that comes from a woman who moves like she knows she's still the fire, even when the world tells her to dim down. So don't dress up for him. Dress up for the part of you that remembers who she is. Number 5, your health is his future. Every workout, every green juice, every deep breath, it tells him, I plan to stay alive for this love. That's powerful. Hey ladies, imagine this. You're lacing up your sneakers, not because of the number on a scale, not because summer's coming, but because you want to live longer beside the man you love. You stretch, breathe deep, move your body, and it's not vanity, it's vows. Quiet ones, the kind that whisper, I want to be here, not just now, but for years, for decades, for the life we haven't lived yet. That green smoothie, it's not punishment, it's a promise. Because here's the truth, your wellness isn't just yours, it's his peace of mind. When he sees you caring for your body, managing your stress, fueling yourself like you matter, he sees something sacred, a woman who intends to stay, who doesn't just say, I love you, but shows it with every rep, every walk, every breath that says, I want a future with you, and I'm willing to fight for it. Now I know the mind can creep in. What if he doesn't notice? What if he's not taking care of himself? Let me say this clearly. Your discipline isn't wasted just because it's quiet. It leads, it inspires, it sets the tone. Self-care isn't selfish, it's shared care. And when you treat your body like it's sacred, you remind him that your life together is worth protecting. Because what's next isn't about muscles or movement. It's about a different kind of strength, the kind that shows up in your words, the kind that makes him feel seen, powerful, and wanted. With just one sentence, stay with me. Number 6, speak into his strength. Every man has a boy inside him wondering if he's enough. You tell him he is. When you notice what he does right, not just what he forgot. So ladies, imagine this. He's standing in the kitchen, turning the lid off the peanut butter jar like it's no big deal. Trash is out, groceries unpacked. He's not expecting praise. He's just doing what needs to be done. But then you say it, softly, sincerely. I love how you just take care of things without me having to ask. And right there, his posture changes. Not dramatically, not like in the movies, but subtly, like something in his chest just stood up straighter. Because deep down, even the strongest men carry questions they never voice. Am I enough? Do I measure up? Is who I am seen? You want to know what melts a man? Not flattery, not performance, recognition, noticing the small victories he's not even sure you caught. The way he always checks the doors at night, the way he solved that annoying problem with the sink, the way he let you vent without offering solutions, just presence. Because real attraction, it's not just physical, it's emotional safety wrapped in admiration. It's hearing, I see you showing up, and I love you for it. Now I know, maybe he's not the best with words, maybe he forgets to return the energy, and maybe sometimes you feel unappreciated yourself. But when you choose to witness, not just expect, you elevate him. And a man who feels elevated by his woman, he doesn't just stay, he rises. So speak into his strength, not to boost his ego, but to water his spirit. Number 7, freedom is the new seduction. So ladies, imagine this. He's on the couch, Headphones in, locked into a video game or some documentary about something you couldn't care less about, motors, space, ancient battles, who knows? You walk by, glance over, and instead of sighing, instead of asking when you'll have his attention again, you say, "Enjoy your time, babe, I'll see you after." No guilt trip, no heavy energy, just peace. And he looks up at you, not like he's in trouble, but like he just realized how safe it feels to be with a woman who doesn't cling to him to feel connected. Because here's the truth, my friends, and a man who's trusted with space brings more of himself back to you. You want to be irresistible? Be the woman who doesn't panic when he pulls away to recharge. Be the woman who knows that healthy love isn't about proximity, it's about presence, even when you're apart. He doesn't need you every second. What he needs is to know that when he steps away, you're not unraveling behind him. That's what seduces a man in a world full of neediness. Denzel style, let me put it like this. A woman who lets a man miss her is a woman who's missed most deeply. So when he says he's hanging out with the guys, or taking a solo drive, or getting lost in his own little world, don't take it personally. Don't take it as distance. Take it as investment, as him being human, as him being whole. You don't lose him by letting him breathe. You keep him by giving him air and watching how deeply he returns for yours. Number 8, drop the quickie like a fire starter. It's not always about making love slowly. Sometimes it's about showing him that your desire doesn't always need ceremony. Now, ladies, imagine this. He's walking past you in the hallway, no shirt, just a towel slung low on his hips. You're folding laundry mid-thought, mid-task, but you catch that glimpse too, and suddenly the air changes. And you don't wait for the candles, you don't light the playlist, you just reach for him, and before he even fully understands what's happening, your hands, your lips, your energy, they speak louder than anything you've said all day. It's not about being perfect, it's about being present in the moment when desire hits. Because here's the truth, intimacy doesn't always need a reservation. Sometimes it just needs permission. And no, it's not about becoming that girl who uses sex to keep his attention. This isn't about performance, it's about possibility. It's about letting him feel that under all your calm, all your poise, all your structure. There's fire that flickers for him and only him. Because in just 3 minutes, you can light a memory that burns for weeks. It's not the length that makes it special, it's the surprise. It's the knowing smirk you give him after. It's the playful moment that whispers, "I want you, still, always." That's what gets into his bloodstream. That's what follows him to the office, to the gym, to the world, like a song he can't stop humming. So drop the quickie, not like a strategy, but like a spark. No apologies, no explanations, just heat. Number 9, thank him for the invisible things. Every thank you is a spotlight on the part of him that hopes he's enough. Say it when it's not expected and watch him rise. So ladies, imagine this. He's carrying in the groceries, fixing the thing that broke again, picking up your favorite snack without being asked. He doesn't make a show of it. He's not looking for applause, but somewhere inside that quiet effort is a silent question. Does she even notice? And that's where you come in, not with over-the-top fanfare, not with flattery, but with something far more powerful. A simple, unexpected, genuine thank you. Not because he needed it, but because he deserved it. Because men, real men, rarely ask for appreciation. But when it shows up, they breathe different. You ever seen it? The way his eyes shift just slightly when you say, "Thanks for taking care of that. I saw what you did even if I didn't say it at the time." You're not just saying thank you. You're telling him, you're not invisible here. Your effort lands here. You matter here. That kind of acknowledgement, it doesn't stroke the ego, it feeds the spirit. Now I know life gets busy. You're holding a lot too. You want to be seen and thanked just as much. But here's the secret. The woman who sees the unseen, who doesn't just expect but appreciates, she builds a bond that isn't easily broken. So thank him, not because it's required, but because it rewires something deep inside both of you. Number 10, ask his opinion, then listen like it matters. Oh, you don't need advice, you want connection. And when a man's words shape your choices, that's intimacy. So ladies, imagine this. You're sitting on the couch, scrolling through vacation spots or looking at that work email that's asking you to make a tough call. You could call your sister, you could text your best friend, you could Google a dozen options, but instead, you turn your head, look at him, and ask, "What do you think I should do?" Not sarcastically, not out of frustration, but because you genuinely care what he sees. He straightens up a little, pauses, offers his thoughts, not to fix you, not to control you, but to show up for you. And in that moment, he doesn't feel like a background character in your life. He feels like a teammate, a protector, a man with a role to play in your world. Because here's the secret: men want to feel useful, not in an outdated provide and protect cliche, but in the sense of being valued for their mind, their insight, their perspective. He's not your Google search bar, he's your partner. Speak to him like he knows something, and he just might show you he does. This isn't about handing him your decisions, this is about inviting him into your inner world. The part that says, "You're not just here to love me, you're here to walk beside me." Even if it's something small, asking what shirt he thinks you should wear to dinner or which photo to post. It's not about the decision, it's about the dialogue. You're telling him, "Your voice matters in my world." And that's intimacy in its purest form. Because the moment a man feels like his words influence your life, not control, but influence, he shows up deeper and trusts you further. Number 11. Hold space for his unspoken. Now, ladies, imagine this. He comes home late. Keys drop on the counter. His smile is there, but faint, forced. Something's weighing on him. You ask how his day was, and he shrugs. Fine, but you know it wasn't. You feel it in his posture, in the way he's slower than usual. He grabs a drink, sits on the couch, turns the TV on, but doesn't really watch it. And now here's the moment. You could ask again, you could push, or you could sit beside him close, silent, but fully present, not waiting, not expecting, just available. Because sometimes what a man needs most is a woman who doesn't fill the silence, but holds it steady. He's strong, but even mountains need a place to crumble. And when he finally does, don't rush in with solutions. Don't diagnose, fix, analyze. Just hold him. Let him speak without filtering. Let him break without retreating. Let him exhale without judgment. Because most men weren't raised with emotional permission. They were raised with emotional armor. And when he starts to take that armor off, that's not weakness. That's a gift. And you're the container, the calm, the witness, the one who says, you don't have to be unshakable right now. You just have to be real. Because when you hold space like that, you don't just become the woman he sleeps next to. You become the woman he confides in, leans into, comes undone with, and still feels safe. Be the silence he trusts, not the noise he avoids. Number 12, frame the memory, show the now. A photo on a nightstand isn't decoration, it's devotion. It says, this moment we shared, it meant something. Hey ladies, imagine this. It's just an ordinary Sunday. You're cleaning up, music low in the background when your eye catches a framed photo on the shelf. It's the two of you, laughing, arms tangled, sun behind you, maybe from a vacation, maybe just a moment in the kitchen where someone happened to snap a picture while love was glowing all over your faces. You don't even remember posing, but it feels like you. Now imagine he sees it too, quietly, in passing, and something softens in him, something settles. He sees not just the photo, but himself through your eyes, loved, chosen, captured in time like something worth keeping. Because that's what this is really about. You're not decorating the room, you're honoring the bond. When you print that photo, frame it, place it where it lives beside you both, not just in your phone gallery, but in your space, you're saying, this meant something to me. It still does. You're reminding him that love isn't just what you say when the lights go out. It's what you show when the world keeps moving fast. In a world of disappearing texts, endless scrolling, and moments forgotten before they even settle, a photo? That's a pause button on a love worth remembering. No grand speeches, no perfect Instagram captions, just a quiet frame that whispers, we're real, we happened, we matter. And sometimes that's all he needs to see, to remember everything else. So frame the memory, not just for nostalgia, but for now. Because real love isn't just about reminding him that you're here. It's about showing him that what you have is worth staying for. Remind him of what he has, not by telling him, but by showing him it's worth remembering. And if you felt something shift through this journey, if even one part of your heart said, "This is me," then write these 4 words in the comments right now. I am the memory. Say it like you mean it, because you're not a moment. You're the marker in his timeline he'll never forget. And here's the truth, my friends, that's how you become unforgettable. This wasn't just about tips, it was about transformation. Because when you move with presence, touch with purpose, and speak with truth, he doesn't just love you, he remembers you. So if this stirred something in you, don't keep it to yourself. Like the video, subscribe for more soul-deep content, and share this with a woman who's ready to move differently in love. And you're not chasing attention anymore. You're commanding connection. And remember, this kind of energy, it doesn't fade, it echoes. Stay glowing, stay grounded. See you soon.